Bang, bang. And in that fashion, what's good with it, gente? Man, I see everyone in here. Carlos Lopez, Harold Mitchell, Rich DM 650. All the gentes in here, Sin City. You already know what it is. Mr. 209, Mr. C, all the real ones. Definitely in here. Boss Lady, I seen you too. Nachi Lewis, what's up? We're going to have the doctor in here. Now, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of rundown. Let's keep it respectful with the doctor, man. He's given us a little bit of his time. And the type of doctor he is, when a lot of people hear the word doctor, they automatically think, so is he going to help me with my heart condition? Nah, fuck all that. Fuck your heart condition. Sasuke. Hey, you don't even got the heart to make it anyway. What the orale? You know what I mean? Trip out. This is the type of individual that does a lot into the history, into Chicano studies, and plays an intricate part into the mind, the mente, home. He's here to help people learn about PTSD, learn about certain different things, you know. He's that type of individual. You know, it's not going to be anything like you think, man. It's not going to be someone that's here to do some bad shit, man. Anything like that, man. He's here to do some real shit. So we're definitely going to get him in. He has a lot of credentials. You know, he does morning shows for Univision, for those of you that don't know. And am I blurry? Am I blurry? Spence off I'm blurry, you know. But yeah, we're definitely gonna get him in here. He's definitely gonna be tapping in pretty soon. Let me put the link up for him so he can get in here and make it happen. Blurry, says everybody. I'm blurry. Judo 101. Gracias. I appreciate you, my brother. I definitely appreciate you, man. To the fullest, man. You're definitely appreciated. Lita, Compton in la casa, saca la bolsita, Gunner. We're just waiting on the good doctor to join us, and it's gonna be all good in the hood. You know what I mean? Sanho Lifer, keep up the good clutch. I appreciate you, brother. Gracias. Highly appreciated. You know, highly appreciated. Definitely, man. So here we go, man. Without further ado, what's up, brother?
What's going on, Gunnar? How are you?
Yeah, man. You know, I was just telling the people about you and you know, introducing you and giving a little bit of a rundown to the people. And if you can for me, brother, would you please give the people a little rundown on what you do, specifically your credentials, where you've been, what you've seen, things of that nature.
Yeah. Well, first of all, good night. I don't know if anybody. I just want to make sure my mic is good. Is my mic good?
Perfect. We can
All
hear you
right.
perfect, brother.
Good. My name is Iran. My first name is Iran. Last name is Barrera. Originally from Bernal, California. I'm currently a professor and department chair at Fresno State University in the Department of Social Work. I have a Associate of Arts degree from Fresno City College, a psychology degree from a bachelor's degree from Long Beach State. So I got the LB on.
Yeah.
Master's degree in social work from Long Beach State, PhD from La Universidad Autónoma de Nuevo León, and looking at international social welfare policies like salud mental, mental health, and a PhD from the University of Texas at Arlington, looking at Chicano, Latino health. So that's kind of a rundown of it's a long road, bro. But I think it's good that you asked this question because a lot of people, especially in our culture, don't know the steps, verdad? I mean, I was one of them. I didn't know that you first had to get like an associate's degree, then a bachelor's, and then a master's, and then a doctorate degree. So I think that's a good question because I get it asked all the time. What is this? Because you'll see like little names behind someone's or little letritas, little letters, right? Like it'll
Yeah.
say Gunner PhD, right? So that means a doctor in philosophy. And if it'll say like Gunner MD, it'll say Doctor of Medicine. So all these it stands for a doctor in something. So I hope that helps. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely, definitely. So, you know, what I wanted to touch on, man, I mean, you discussed this off camera. We've been talking now for several weeks, and what I think is a plays into a big part of what's going on. You know, me being in the prison genre and speaking on behalf of the Latinos and trying, you know, being for the people, by the people. I wanted to talk about how people can get help with things such as PTSD and being institutionalized and things of that nature. I know when it comes to mental health, man, you got a massive know all of that, or at least you're getting there. what is it that affects our gente, man? And what are some outlooks and some spots, man, where the gente can go to possibly help, with post traumatic? And what's basically the rundown? Where does post traumatic come from, brother?
Well, I think like mental health. I used to say that word a lot, but I just call it emotional wellness now. You know what I mean? Just to put it
Yeah,
all together. I think that you'll see, and I think this is why it's important that people like me jump on, because I think about where like my parents get information, you know what I mean, where my community gets information. And sometimes when I think about the information, it's scary. It scares us, right? But I think the major part of for us, and I say us like our raza and what have you, is that it's literacy. Like we don't understand. It's not that we don't understand it. We just have a different mental health system, right? So, for like post traumatic stress disorder, that's what PTSD
yeah,
stands for post traumatic stress disorder. So, my understanding is that it they started looking at this from like the veteranos, right, that went out to the military and went to war and what have you, and it started called be called like shell shock is what it started out, verdad? And then
yeah,
it kind of progressed to PTSD in terms of the terminology. Um, but uh, I think that it's real important for us to understand what PTSD is, what depression is, what like all these elements, because it's important and it's very connected to we just see it differently. So, for example, like I always talk about anxiety. We know it as nervios or ataques de nervios, right? It's the same thing, man, in terms of
yeah,
symptoms and what have you. But PTSD specifically, um, as you know, I know we talked about it, that you said that you have talked to a lot of people that have been in the pinta and have experienced post-traumatic stress disorder, right?
yeah,
And basically, it's a form of trauma, an event that someone has gone through, that's obviously traumatic. And what happens is you either witness it or you go through it, or you're like well connected to that event. But after that event, what ends up happening is a smell, something that reminds you of that event, an odd something that that you heard or hearing reminds you of that event, will take you back to that event and you relive it. And what happens is whenever you relive in it, te asustas, you get scared and you have fear. And what you want to do is you start wanting to avoid things that remind you of it, smells that remind you of it, anything that takes you back to those events or that one specific event. You'll do anything at all costs to avoid it, right? So what ends up happening is it impacts your functioning, verdad?
yeah,
It impacts your daily functioning. And what we know is that it's problematic because I'll give an example. I used to do a private practice. I had a private practice, and this mom came to me. She was about 67-year-old Mexicana lady, and she spoke Spanish, primarily Spanish is her first language, verdad? And she
hmm
said, she goes, well, I want to talk to somebody, and well, Dr. Barrera's here and what have you. So we're sitting down, we're talking, and she said that her son is embrujado, right? That her son was embrujado, and I'm like listening, okay. And everything she described, I'm thinking, oh, okay. And then the kicker was that, about 6 months ago, he just came back from the Gulf War, or I don't remember what war it was. And I'm like, okay. So I was like, okay, this cat has PTSD. You know what I mean? So, but you
yeah,
see how like she was saying embrujado, and the Western terminology is PTSD, right?
yeah.
It's
She
the
just didn't have that right wording, but you knew, you know.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing, right? There's no such thing as right wording. You have the the Western model, right, that names everything, but we
Yeah,
already have our names for this, carnal. You know what I mean?
yeah.
We already
Oh
have our
yeah.
names for this.
hmm
So that's important. So I hope that helps. And I can't see the comments, Gunner, but I'll leave it up to you to.
Oh yeah. I'll definitely any good question. I'll definitely put up here.
Mhm.
So why do you think? And like you said, man, it could be something traumatic you've seen. Like say in prison, for instance, man, you could have got put in the hole for an extensive amount of time, man, and it played with your mind, and now you're scared of dark places or quiet places, and then maybe you've seen someone get stabbed or something like that, beat, and now that could cause triggers. Um, what do you think? are ways to help with that, bro. You know?
Yeah, it's interesting. We're talking about today's Veterans Day, so
Yeah,
thanks for everybody who served. So one of the things that we see that has helped is something called cognitive therapy, and
yeah,
basically what that is talk therapy, but really looking at your experiences. You're reshaping your experience or the bad experiences, ¿verdad? You're trying to really change the narrative of that event, right? um, and so the whole deal, just to cut it real short, cognitive therapy is really changing your mindset. So if you had a bad event, and a smell or a certain is the smell or something that reminds you of it, what you want to work on is to replace that event with something positive. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So that's one of the things that we see that people who have PTSD, you know, go get this types of treatment, and there's different treatments, Gunner. There's
Yeah.
a lot of different treatments. You know what I mean?
A question that was asked, they said, so does medication, self-medicating help? Say Xanax for anxiety, or do you take as prescribed? Say someone has bad panic attacks, is Xanax something that could help them, or is it based on individual basis?
It all, I would say it all depends on individual basis, because here's what happens.
Yeah.
Like, we always have to make sure that there's nothing biological causing the anxiety. So that's why we say, okay, let's make sure that there's nothing biological that is causing this anxiety, right? We want to rule out anything medical, right?
Yeah.
So I'll give you, I think, for example, like um, thyroid is one. I'm trying to remember thyroid, issues with thyroid. I don't know.
Yeah.
And so we want to make sure we rule that all that stuff out, right? And then if all your stuff is cool, like all your blood work and stuff like that, we can't see anything. Okay, then let's work on the mente, right? Let's look
Mhm.
at the mental aspect, right? What I would say is every case is different. The best way I can describe this, Gunnar, in terms of medication is that, if people, for example, let's just say I'm 30 pounds overweight, verdad? Let's just say I'm 30 pounds overweight,
Mhm.
but I'm asking my doctor, hey, give me gastric bypass surgery. And my doctor's gonna say, well, have you tried exercising? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Have you tried stop eating donuts? And I'm like, no.
Mhm.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I think what ends up happening is, people want the quick solution, right? The quick fix. And sometimes, in my opinion, that does more damage than good, because you never learn those skills to deal with that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Definitely.
So that's what I would say to that. And I you know
All right. So another question: do you think that anxiety and all that can be passed down from generations in your family? Meaning, is it something that, like, say my mom has it or my dad has it, then I might get it? You know what I mean?
well, what we see is that, I would say there's two sides to this, and one side is that we don't see anything that's, at least that I know, that's genetic, right?
Yeah.
So it's not genetic. It's not like, for example, if you come from a family that has a certain illness, you are more likely to have that illness because you're genetic, right? What
Okay.
what ends up happening with these kinds of things, Gunner, is that we might not have it genetically, but we're in that household, so we're seeing how our families are reacting to it. So what ends up happening, we become conditioned. You know what I mean? There's
Mm,
something that happens to doctors as the more you learn about like illnesses and stuff like that, the more you'll start thinking that you have them too.
yeah.
You see, even though you don't have them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Your mind starts believing.
Yes, yes. You start getting conditioned, and you're like, ah, cabrón. You know what I'm
No.
saying?
Yeah. The mind is the most. I mean, it's the functioning organ that keeps the whole body going. So, whatever your mind takes in, it seems like, man, it could really start. You could really start believing it. It's kind of like a liar, man. He lies so much, he starts believing his own lies. You know what I mean?
Hey, hey, I think this is over. You said it perfectly. We're done, bro.
Hey, I'm a Dr. Gunner in the house. I'm in that thinking.
You
Um,
know what I mean?
so what
No,
got you, brother? What got you into wanting to? I mean, I know, obviously, I know you want to help the Chicano people, the Latino people, first and foremost. I could see that instilled in you. What's Kind of tell us your background, man? Kind of tell us where you come from as far as the barrios, what you've seen around you, and how you got out of that and chose a different path.
Well, like I shared earlier, I'm originally from Avenal, California. My parents are from South Texas, and we were migrant farm workers. There was eight of us in our family. There's eight of us, four boys and four girls, and I'm third to the youngest. And you know, growing up, working in the fields, living in the barrio,
Hmm.
you know, living in poverty. I just, man, to me, it was just. Um, I almost felt like, like drowning, right? Like no matter how much I dog paddled, no matter how much I tried to swim, I just was not getting air. And I have like short stories that I write about, like little short stories that I write about my experiences being,
Yeah.
poor and stuff like that. But I think for me is just I don't know, man. I always think about the results, right? I give you
Hmm.
that example about donuts, right? If I
Yeah.
eat donuts, 5 times a day and I don't exercise, I shouldn't be surprised when the doctor says, "Hey, man, you got diabetes," right? I shouldn't be surprised, right?
Yeah.
So I just found like, man, because I was a baseball player. I was a and I played college ball and professional ball. And when I got hurt, I learned a real lesson, man, that you're only good when you're functioning, right? And so I thought to myself, like, what is the last thing that my body's going to give out? And I'm like, hopefully it's my mind, right?
Hmm.
And so I said, you know what? I got to invest in my mind. I got to invest in my mind. And it was hard because I tell the story about when I was in high school. My counselors and them, man, they did it. I think they did me dirty, right? But that's another story. Yeah, my mom and dad didn't know how to fill out financial aid forms for me to go to, like, because I got accepted to like Berkeley and what have you, because I was a pretty good student, but I didn't go. And 2 weeks after school started, my homeboy, well, he was going to Fresno City College. He goes, "Hey, Iran," he goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "No, I'm just watching TV, man." And he goes, "Hey, get ready. I'm gonna pick you up. I'm gonna bring you to Fresno." And Avenel was like an hour from Fresno, so he
Yeah.
picks me up, enrolls me in City College, bro. I had like plumbing, carpentry, and all this stuff, right? And I tell this story. The first 2 weeks of school, man, I didn't go. And he comes home and he goes, "Hey, what are you doing, man?" I said, "No, I'm just here." He was letting me stay in his room. He goes, "How come you're not going to school?" I said, "Because they haven't picked me up yet." He's like, "Who?" I said, "The mayordomo." Who? He's like, "What?" I said, "Yeah, aren't they supposed to pick me up? Because whenever you clean cotton, pick tomatoes and stuff, back then they used to come into your house and pick you up. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?"
Definitely.
And hey, I was ready to get picked up, but I won't show up.
No one ever came. Huh?
But see, that's what I'm talking about. Like, who's gonna tell our people, or like us, like, "Hey, this is the way it is." Like, now that I'm a professor and I'm
Yeah.
the chair of our department, I push my faculty to say, "Look, we have to change things. How does so and so know about this?" Right?
Yeah.
Well, they can get online. What makes you think they have internet? What makes
Yeah.
you think they have a computer, right? So I try really hard to put my, I think, and that's a value that I bring, because I remember my own struggle, and I set policies for that, and I said, "Here's how we're going to do with this,"
Yeah.
because it's been a long road. So for me, I hope that kind of gives you a snapshot of why I end up doing what I do.
Oh, yeah. Well, just like you said, communication is key.
Yeah.
Communication is key, but like you said, not everybody is computer savvy. Not everybody has the means to have internet or has the means to have a computer. So it's about reaching back to the people and bringing everyone up to the level, man, so that everyone could experience the same opportunity. You know, and just in your case, man, you were thinking one way, and here was a whole another way. Eventually, you righted the ship, and you were able to become successful and you're in the perfect and prime position to help the gente, and that's a good thing. Um, and so, do you deal with primarily raza, or do you deal with everybody?
Like, right now, I don't have a private practice anymore, because now I do more like research and publish about stuff like, scientific, like, I'll do studies, like large studies, and say, okay, this is what's going on. I do everybody, carnal, but I specialize in the Chicano Latino culture, because it's different. How we see health is different. How we see mental health, how we see things is different. So a lot of the culture needs to be part of that, stuff. And what we see is that the curriculum that most universities offer don't have cultural, elements involved. You know what I mean? So you have to have people like us to say, you know what, cultural is important. Like like respeto, familia, all those things are important in mental health and health.
Yeah.
But the Western model don't think that. They think that individualism is important. Well, how can we say that, if I'm treating somebody, hey, I think you need to do this, and then you go back into your house and your mom and dad are like, no, cabron, you're gonna do this.
No, yeah.
Right? So it's important that all these things are taken into consideration. So whenever you ask me that question, it's everybody, but at the same time, I specialize in this. It's like a mechanic, right? A mechanic can do, for the most part, any car, right? But
He has a
there's certain
specialty.
there's a
Yeah.
specialty, right? Hey, you know what? I only work on, Chevy, old C10s or
Yeah.
Impalas. You know what I mean? I don't mess around with this other stuff. I can do it, but I prefer this. It's kind of like that, Carnal.
Yeah. And all right, so do you see, let's talk about the drug usage, because I know it's pretty prominent in the Latino community. Especially with this new stuff like fentanyl and all this stuff going on.
Yeah.
What is it? I know everyone does it. Drugs are universal. Everyone does it. But do you see it playing a big part into the Latino community and how it's? I mean, it's we're keeping holding ourselves back because of these drugs, or do you think it's just something that's always going to be there and it's you got to fight the good fight and it is what it is, or do you see that there's a lot of people that want to get away from it but they don't understand, like how to get away from it? If you understand my question.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like a multi-layered, I think,
Yeah.
because what we see is like there's like a lot of people don't know that there's a difference between drug use and drug abuse, right?
Mm,
There's two different things, right? Um, the issue is I see, at least in our community, is that most of our communities are gripped by systems of oppression, whether
yeah.
it be the educational system, healthcare, right? Whatever the case may be. And how are you gonna make it out if there's policies and practices that are geared for you not to make it?
Yeah.
Right? So te desesperas, right? You kind of get like antsy and stuff like that. So, if you graduated high school and you don't see yourself going anywhere and you're making minimum wage and all these things, right? Like things just keep piling up, piling up, piling up. And for us, we all we know is to chingarle, right? We know is to keep at it,
Yeah.
and that comes at a cost, right? So if we don't talk to anybody about things, if we don't express what's going on and what have you, then we tend to self-medicate. And we all know that it starts at a small drug and it kind of goes up from there, because all the problems, you know what
Yeah.
I mean, your problems, your family's problems, the community's problems, you know what I'm saying, it's a multi-layered thing. So I think there are a lot of variables that account for that. But in my eyes, this is what I see, man. Especially in the younger generation, when I go to my bars and stuff, I see like, man, it's tough because where do we get information? And I remember going, having to drive like an hour to go get food with my parents. I mean, think about it now, that's like $5 a gallon, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So economics plays a role. So there's all these variables that play, that kind of play into this phenomenon of drug usage.
Yeah.
And by no means am I here to judge, right? Because there's a saying in Spanish, "Cada cabeza su mundo," like every mind has its own way of dealing with stuff, and I
Exactly.
respect that, man. But at the same time, I know, for me, I always think about what this, like, I always think about like myself, like, okay, Iran, if you keep doing this, where's it going to lead you? It's not going to lead you to something good, right? No, okay, then you got to
Yeah.
change that, which is
Yeah.
not easy though.
Ultimately, everybody has the free will. Everybody has the choice to make their own decisions, and there's a lot that plays into it. The environment around you, where you're placed, Um, but at the same time, ultimately, it's everyone else's decision. Everyone's gonna make their own decision. I myself grew up in the barrio with the same homeboys, same street. They're drug addicts. I'm not. You know what I mean? And it's just a choice, simple choice, I guess. Some minds are a little bit stronger than others. Not to say
Yeah,
that people that use drugs don't have strong minds. It's just it is
no,
what it is.
it's whenever you come into there's no, uh, I always talk about like high blood pressure. High blood pressure, either you have high blood pressure or you don't. It's cut and dry. With mental health, with emotional wellness, It's not cut and dry. It's so complex. That's why, I think that's why a lot of it has to do with where we're at with things, because it's very, very complex. It's very challenging. It is, and that's why a lot of us who are in this field get burned out. We
Oh,
get burned
absolutely.
out because we can see people for like a year, 2 years, depending. And it's tough because sometimes you don't see changes and you give it all, and so it's very complex. You know what I mean? So there's no one answer to everything. It's very complex. So
Yeah.
and, you know
Here's a question I want to ask. So gangs, right? Gangs are something that's been around since before we're around, something that's going to be around after we're gone. Um, do you think these guys are product of their environments? Do you think that there's some type of mental issues that go into this? Some type of issues where maybe they're not getting the right guidance at home, comfort? Do you think it's all the above? I know Latinos, man, as a people, we're pretty gang related for the most part. We all got familia that's from the water. We all got familia that's been a part of something. What goes into that, bro? Is it just our pride, that we're warriors, our cultura, or is it just not really having the proper guidance in the home?
I think it could be, D, right? Like all of the above. I
Yeah,
think it could be D, in terms of like, if we're doing este multiple choice. But I think with like gangs, there needs to be more like studies done, right? Like what's going on, what has been going on, to kind of figure what is the root cause of this. I ran into something a couple of years ago, something called ACEs. I don't know if you ever heard of ACEs.
I don't think I have.
Yeah, ACEs stands for Adverse Childhood Experiences. And it's a trip because there's a lot, even the state of California, right? Actually, the whole nation is pushing this called ACEs, Adverse Childhood Experiences. And there's 10 questions, Gunner.
Yeah,
And these 10 questions predict whether you're going to have diabetes, anxiety, depressions, stroke, like all these physical illnesses and emotional illnesses as an adult.
yeah.
And I'm thinking that this prison question that you're talking about, stuff like that, I think that lies in there, bro. I really do. It's really fascinating, to if you ever get a chance, it's called Adverse Childhood Experiences. 'Cause there's a lot of research that's being done right now on it as well. But with that being said, I think that with what you pointed out in terms of what leads to you know young men or women or what have you into prisons, um, there's no clear cut answer to that.
There's no rhyme or reason, basically.
I would kind of I would lean that way, because
Yeah,
if we knew, right,
yeah.
then
We
we
could
would
prevent.
have yes, we can do a lot more prevention in that specific area. So that's why I say that I would advocate for a lot more research. You know what I mean? So that's why, like the stories and stuff that are going on in your channel and what have you, I think they're important, right, to
Oh,
give folks information.
yeah, I basically what I try to do, like I told you, man, is I want to show people the harsh realities of what can happen after the fact. I'm not trying to prevent anyone from anything. I'm no one to say what's right or wrong. I've chosen wrong most of my whole life, so I'd be the last one to tell you which route to go. But I will tell you what can happen as a result of the choices you make. That's just what I'm here for, and that's how I help the people by showing them so that hopefully I can prevent them from going down that same road as me. Here's a question from OC714, brother. I wanted to get a couple questions. Gunnar, can you ask why there is not biomedical tests that can show treatments are effective when treating mental health? How can you actually measure success?
Yeah, that's so what I would say to that is that when we think about mental health, what we have to do is really like focus on one area, like depression, right?
Yeah,
So we know there's like a lot of medicines out there that are geared for depression, and it seems like every month one comes out, right? But I think it's
yeah,
also important to understand that mental health is has big pharma involved and all that stuff, right? So it's wrapped around a capitalistic model. So in terms of tests and what have you, all that's, I think, I would say that it depends on the need, right? We see what exactly is worth doing tests for. um, and how do you actually measure success? Well, well, in the case of depression, we look at like symptoms, like um, if your symptoms have reduced, right? So let's say you had 10 symptoms of depression, and if they're reduced, that's how we measure success, right? And functioning. So I know I'm giving kind of like very vague answers, but in emotional wellness and stuff, that's the way it is. Unless we really focus on one thing, right? Like even with depression, a lot of people don't know. Like with depression, there's different types.
Yeah.
There's bipolar one, bipolar two, dysthymia. I mean, there's different types. It's all depression, but there's different types. So
Yeah. Uh, this is more than a question. It's more of a statement, but I could turn it into a question that I would ask. In the Chicano culture, mental health is not really pushed. I feel like it's looked at as weak or soft. What's your take on that? Do you get that feeling too from some of the gente?
well,
Or
I think
go ahead,
yeah,
brother.
no, I think that it has to do with literacy. You know what I mean? Like really understanding what mental health is in our culture, ¿verdad? Because I think that, like I pointed out earlier, we have our own way of looking at things, right? We have a way of looking at illnesses, and we also have own way of looking at healing, which is important. But I think what that question is getting to is, do we talk enough about it? No, we don't talk enough about it. You know what I'm saying? And even if we try to, bring up the subject, right? It's kind of like taboo, ¿verdad? It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm not going to get into that, right?
That
Like,
and that's what I'm thinking, bro. I'm thinking it's more along the lines of people saying, I'm not gonna look cool, or I feel some type. It's just like the movies, man. So I'm gonna go talk to my therapist, right? It
yeah,
just makes you seem like, what's wrong with your head, fool? Right? Now there's something wrong with everybody's head. There's really something wrong with your head if you know you got something going on and you ain't going to work on it. You know what I mean?
no, that's a good point. And you know what? I read an article the other day. I think it was in Los Angeles Times or the New York Times, where it said that the white what was the title? It said that the white people's um what did I say? I'm trying to remember the title, but it basically pointed out that white people are using therapy now, like ¿cómo se dice? To get ahead in life, if you will. You know what I'm
Oh yeah.
saying? Yeah.
So what Nature's Lantern asks, what is the biggest threat to Chicano health in 2021?
I would say information, lack of information.
Lack of
Yeah, yeah,
information.
lack of information. That's what I would say. Lack of information is the biggest threat to our health, right? And I mean that across the board, not just mental health. I mean, if you look at what happened with COVID, right? We
Yeah.
were the last ones to get in line, carnal. You know what I'm saying? And there was all these push, like even in Kings County and Fresno County. I actually did a video for the Central Valley Policy Institute, because we saw the numbers that we were not getting vaccinated, right? There was all these myths about vaccine. Okay, my comadre got it, and she woke up with this, and my compadre got it. Like all these things were happening in our communities, but the public health uh, offices and what have you, they were not getting wind of what was going on in the community. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so I always say that it's information or lack of information.
I think it goes back something like that. I think it goes back to the Chicano saying, "We'll let them fuck themselves up first, and then we'll see what happens. and we'll see what happens. If they're good, we're good. If not, sounds good. We're cool over here." All
Or
right,
we
Mr.
put
C.
go
One
ahead.
more question, brother. One
Yeah.
more question. Mr. C asks, this is a good friend of mine, man. He says, "What's your thoughts on people turning away from medication and turning to marijuana as a substitute for medical conditions?"
Yeah, well, we know that marijuana has been helping a lot, right? From the research that's been going on and what have you. And marijuana. If you look at the history of marijuana, how that name even came about. I think it began as a derogatory word in El Paso back in when the Anglos got a hold of it, and then because my understanding is that the marijuana was being smoked by the indigenous people, right?
Oh yeah.
Um, you know what? It's funny because that question reminds me of. Let me see if I have it here. Um, there's this book. It's you know, there's this book, and here I'll show it to you. It's this right here, right? It's called the
Yeah.
Diagnostical and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, right? This is the latest one, right? So here's look how thick it is, bro. Everything's in here, right? Like all this
Fuck
stuff, right?
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, so this is what they teach you in school, ¿verdad? Like okay, all that stuff's in there. But when I started doing like more Chicano health and Latino health and stuff like that, through my research and studies, I found, and actually it's in my up there in my bookcase, it's up there, but I found that the Aztecs had their own version of that book. It was called the Códice Vadiano, and it was in
Mm,
their native language. And so when the Spaniards came and burned everything down, that book survived, and so they took it to Spain and they had it translated in Latin, and then they kept it, right. But in that book they had names for illnesses, like they used to call depression sangre negra, right.
mhm.
And the tripped out part about it is they had like a remedy for treatment, and it said bebe y baila, and you could see the little monitos dancing around the tree, and you know what I mean. Yeah, it's a trip.
Yeah.
So it kind of reminds me of that question that the this individual brought up in terms of medication and marijuana. We know that marijuana has been indigenous or being used for a while, and medication. Well, the thing about medications, right? It all depends, but I've always been an advocate of trying exhausting everything else first before you know jumping on medication and what have you. But every case is different. It's it's there's a lot of variables that go into like each case and what have you.
Yeah, like I said, everybody's different. It affect everyone's cases is different. It's going to affect where marijuana might help you, it might not help the next person. You know what I mean? You just never know. It's not
Right.
something that just this is a. It's not like Tylenol where it takes the fever from everybody. Um,
Yeah, exactly.
how do Taylor Switch asks, how does he know if he needs to check for PSD? When would they know like something's going wrong with me? You know what I mean?
you know Looking at keeping track of their like their fears. Let me back up. PTSD, like I pointed out earlier, was used to be under the umbrella of anxiety. Anxiety, whenever you hear anxiety, just think about fear, right? It's another
Hmm.
word for fear.
Hmm.
So if you're always fearful of things, right, whether it be certain smells, certain things that remind you, the flashbacks and stuff like that, I would say go talk to somebody or go get it checked out. And and I know I say, well, go get it checked out. I think the other day I talked to you, Gunnar, about, not having health insurance and how much it costs now, right? To talk to somebody. It's
Yeah.
expensive.
Hell yeah.
Um, but I do want to share this, Gunnar. Anybody who, has been thinking or needs familia, whatever, use the number 211. 211 is called the Information and Referral Services. It's 211. 211. You dial 211 and you say, hey, I'm looking for a place to talk to somebody about, whatever the case may be. But also mention that you're looking for a place that has a sliding scale fee, right? A sliding scale fee means that they are going to charge you based upon how much money you have or how much
Yeah.
money you make. So just kind of FYI. Hmm.
Yeah. You gotta. I definitely recommend that when you go to check into anything that's monetarily involved, you do your research on it because you don't want to get burned at the end. You don't want to be in
Yeah,
debt.
yeah.
You know. So man, yeah. Let me see if we got one more question. Says,
One more
and this
question.
is this is more of a statement, and we'll turn it into a question. Cultura Cafe, good friend of the channel, says most, and of course he's just speaking from his perspective. He said most whites grew up with a lot of medical resources and are more prone to go see the doctor for just about anything. Latino households were the opposite to that.
Yeah, yeah, and I
Yeah,
actually agree with that. The thing is that I take my own experience, in terms of healthcare. Now that that I have access to, what would say quality care, right? Because of my job. My jefito and my jefita, when they come up here from Avenal, you know, uh, I went one time with their doctors,
yeah.
and let me tell you, man, the you just can see the difference of how you get treated, man. It sucks. It really does, Carnal. You know
Oh
what I
yeah.
mean? It
Oh
it it,
yeah.
it, it really does suck, man, and it's frustrating and it's sad all the way around. But to that point, we grow up with no resources. You know what I mean? You're lucky if you have bro, check this out. I was talking to my brother this past weekend, and we were in Plainview, Texas.
Yeah.
We were I think we were picking cucumber. I don't remember, but I was, younger than most of my siblings, and uh, so I ended up stepping on a can of spam. I was like, I don't know, 1 or 2 years old.
Yeah.
You know how my mom put it back, bro? She put it back with a bandana, carnal.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So I don't think I saw doctors like we don't see doctors back then until like, hey, it was either something's
So
gonna
you,
fall off, or you know
yeah.
what I mean, and so that's the way it is.
Yeah. Until you, I mean, when you're sweating, he's been sweating for 3 days, and one more day, and then we'll take him in.
Yeah.
Anyways, you know what? We appreciate your time, doctor. We appreciate you coming
Yeah.
on, spreading the knowledge, man. And this is my way of giving back to the gente, man. And it's something we've been working on, and I hope to have you back, so we can elaborate onto some other issues, and we'll talk about some other topics. But I appreciate you, brother, man. I'm sure all the gente, the collective, they appreciate you. Just a little something different. My way of giving back to the people, and spreading awareness, for the Chicano Latino community. It's what I
Yeah,
do.
no, thank you for having me on, and I think it's a good platform to spread or to give information, right? Otherwise, if you have access to healthcare and stuff like dale gas, but if you don't, then we got to find creative ways to give information, because one of the things I always talk about, Gunner, is that no, I don't see any people from my barrio or my family coming up to Fresno State and reading my scientific journal articles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So something has to change. You know what I mean? And I think this is a good way to change that. So I want to thank all your listeners and your viewers. Thank you for the opportunity. Echale ganas, and hope everybody's well. So I hope it's helped, man, for whatever it's worth.
Oh, hey,
Um,
bro. Like I said, if it only hits one person, man, that's the person that needed it. You feel me?
yeah, I hear you,
That's
man.
that's how I do it. Anyways, I appreciate you, brother. You have a great
Gracias, Gunner.
evening, and it's all good. I'll definitely be tapping back in with you.
Thank you.
Yes,
Hasta
sir.
luego. Bye bye.
Okay. And that was it. That was the doctor. That doesn't in that fashion a good dude right there, man. Definitely someone that's fucking well versed in a lot, bro, a lot. And I just wanted to bring him on to try to give back to the people. See, I'm positive, Vatos, sometimes. Orale, who wants to come in here and fuck with me and talk a whole lot of gang shit? Cranking horse. Nah. Hey, it was great, man. Respects to the doctor for doing that. He didn't have to. He reached out to me, man. We built a relationship, became friends, and he came on here, man, and blessed us. What's good with the gente? Where you all at? Who's gonna jump in with me? 209. Come on. Let's chill. And in that fashion, like Guy says. Mm-hmm. Cricket Ramirez, this has been very informational. Thank you, brother. I just want to do something a little bit different for the people. Do something a little bit different. I want to it's not all about gang shit and this and that, bro. Sometimes it's about, man, trying to help the people, you know? Since I'm being called the guy that's fucking not, we definitely will bring him back, Luis Carrillo. We'll bring him back. What's up, Donnie Mullins?
What's up, Gunner?
What are you up to, man? I can see your hair's on point. Literally. What's cracking?
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm. Cholo Trucker's in the building.
Shave.
That's right, Cholo. I see you, brother. I appreciate you. Cholo Trucker is in the building, gente.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's gonna be on Salinas Report tonight. I'm definitely gonna tap in for that. Go check out my brother, see how he's doing, and we're gonna do it in that fashion. All the homies are coming in here now. Bam. Iron Bear's in the building. What's up with it?
What's up, bro?
Shit, just chilling, bro.
How you guys doing tonight?
Oh man, kicking back. What you smoking on? Some of that Thai stick? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that stuff that's tight to a stick,
That good shit up.
Hell yeah.
Oh, boys in there. Bam.
Well-
Carlos is in the building. What's up?
What's good?
I didn't even see that shirt yet, and I guarantee it's a poetic justice shirt. Am I on? Am I on? Bam. Pop. Poetic justice. Hey, see how quick? All I gotta do is barely look, bro.
Already.
Here comes my boy Don, man, from Ohio. Hey, gracias.
What's going on there, bro? How you doing?
What's up, Don?
What up? What up? What's happening with y'all? What up?
Hey, I'm glad you were able to tap in, bro. I hope that was just a little bit, I just wanted to touch down with the doctor. That was kind of an introduction and just a little bit into what's going on out there,
Yeah. Oh yeah, man, that was a good one.
Yeah, it's something different, bro. and I'll bring them on, bro. We're gonna touch on a lot more subjects. That was kind of just more of an introduction to let people know that there's people out there, bro, that are trying to help. They're trying to help us. You know what I mean? People that, no one's gonna say their fucking mind's all messed up, but we all got something wrong with us. You know what I mean? Look, we're all on YouTube every night. And in that fashion. You feel me?
Oh yeah.
Where's the bean at?
I think he's off work today, so I can't call
he's
it.
off.
Hey, thank you,
I
down
got
to
with him.
78. Appreciate you.
It's fun.
I talked to him earlier. I was chopping up with him in 209 earlier. We were on my members live. So
Okay, yeah. I talked to him a little bit ago. He said he was just at home chilling.
yeah.
He actually was about to eat. He said he's gonna get some eat and smoke some weed. He said.
Oh yeah, he'll probably jump on probably a little bit later. I know I'll definitely be around the block on YouTube tonight, see what's cracking with all the gente, man. I just wanted to tap in with the people and bring the doctor, man. The doctor's good people, man. I've chopped it up with him. He knows his shit,
Yeah.
bro.
He seems like good people.
You going on late night?
You can tell.
Late night creep again tonight, Gun? You doing the late night creep again tonight?
Late night.
I'll be there.
Right. I'm with you.
You already know what it is. I got the creep on the late night. You never
I mean,
know
if I
what,
swim
you never
like
know what's
that.
gonna happen. Last night they pulled out cuetes and fucking face masks and all kinds of shit out. Last night was crazy. And then Don tapped in last night.
A little bit. My phone
Man,
was
that was
to jump
crazy.
off.
Yeah.
Schmitty's
Donnie
funny,
was in-
man.
Donnie was in the mix. His mom snatched him up for a minute, but he came back.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
He came back. He knew that that's right, AC Barrera, brother. Appreciate you. He seen that he seen Debbie was still in the building. He had to come in quick.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He was like, oh yeah, hey Donnie, I thought Donnie was gonna take out Smitty for hitting on her.
Oh shit, he was tried. Bam,
Yeah.
the Deusolina is in the building.
What's up,
What's
209?
up?
What you doing, Donnie?
Saludos, gente. Chilling,
What's up,
good
brother?
with
What
you?
you into? Chilling?
kicking it, having a beer, listening to the doctor.
Yeah, the doctor, man, he tapped in. He's a real one, bro. I appreciate him. He's cool, bro. That's what you want to bring to your channels sometimes, bro. Like the gang stuff and all that stuff. It's cool. Don't get it twisted, bro. That right there is fine and dandy. Like, but that ain't never gonna stop, Pumps. That ain't never gonna stop.
No.
And it's good to get your mind right so that you can shine right sometimes.
Hey, the whole point is it don't matter. I guess you call it like in minority cultures, like the Chicano, whatever, and black people, whatnot. It's like kind of more taboo to ask for help or to acknowledge mental health and whatnot.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. But it's not. But ultimately, it's all kind of the same thing. I mean, we're all humans. I can be standing next to, my Mexican homeboy from Texas, or whatever, going through the same traumas. We're both going to come out with the same things. So I guess more importantly, it's just if you feel like you're off or not right, you just need to start asking questions and start talking to people about it, and kind of try to take the initiative to get out there and I don't really know what I'm trying to say.
Well, trip out on this, bro. I told a little story to a couple people. I'll tell you guys that one night, bro, I was cruising. This is when I had my last channel. I was cruising, and I was on my way back coming from Modesto, going up to the Bay Area, and I'm fucking cruising, bro. And I stopped at In-N-Out Burger, and I said, "Fuck it, man." And I was gonna go trip out on a homeboy up there, and I got a call, bro. I got a call, and it was from someone that I didn't even know who it was, right? And it was on Instagram, and he was like, "Don't hang up, don't hang up." And he was like, "I watch your channel," and he was like, I had to cut myself in order to make this phone call. And I said, what? And he started telling me about all these fucking voices in his head and how he had to do this in order to ask for help. And don't hang up on me, because if you hang up on me, it's a wrap. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And I was like, oh, shit, right? I wanted to hang up on his ass. But at the same time, I was like, I can't do it, bro. What if he's real, right?
Yeah, you don't want that on your conscience.
Yeah, bro. I stood on the phone with him in that parking lot for like 4 hours, bro. My shit got cold and everything. I was like, damn, bro. And eventually I was able to reach out to Pastor David Rocha and put him on him and so he can give him some guidance or whatever. And then I did it pushing. But I remember that day, bro. It was a trip. I was like, fuck, this dude he was like on some serious shit, bro. So you never know what people are going through. I get me thinking like, fuck, I got to try to help somebody if I can. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Especially in
my bad, I apologize. Like me being an addict, okay, and also having PTSD, I'm more susceptible to be an addict because my father was, my grandfather was, and so on and so forth. But the PTSD really triggers that. You know, my son passing away, going to the desert, you know, that kind of stuff. So like people were asking about like Xanax and I smoke tree, you know, that kind of stuff and whatnot. That all is designed to help you with your symptoms, your anxiety and whatnot. But that's I was taught when I was down in treatment that that's like putting a Band-Aid on an open wound. That's not going to heal it because your wound's still going to get infected. You still got to talk to somebody. You still got to get yourself together. You got to take that Band-Aid off and clean that wound out. So it's like a combination of your anxiety medication to allow you to do the things that you used to do, because your depression, your anxiety will make you shut down and make you stop doing the things you used to do. And that just spirals everything out of control. Next thing you know, you're suicidal and this and that. So the drugs and whatnot is definitely helps symptoms of the overall problem, but you still got to tackle the overall problem, or you just got gangrene and all kind of shit underneath that Band-Aid, if that kind of makes any sense.
Yeah, it does. You ain't lying. You ain't lying. What's up with Schmitty, man? Get up in this motherfucker, Schmitty, one time for your mind, man. Everybody wants to see the robe flapping in the wind. Better wear fucking boxers. Cabron, wear boxers because we're not trying to see you wiggle while you work. You feel me?
We try not to see the one breaking.
Hey, Smitty's gonna come out like that dude on Silence of the Lambs, pull his robe off.
Oh, he said, "I'd fuck me. Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me." No, Schmitty, we won't. I'm sure there's Tyrone will though. Shit.
Fucking Schmitty.
There you go, man. Schmitty, man.
He's got his woman right now. Trying to get permission from his woman right now.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Hey, they said
babe.
What strain are you smoking on, Iron Bear?
Oh, this right here is some menthol breath still.
Oh yeah, you're just fucking off that flower, huh?
Yeah. I'm fucking that flower. I fuck with the wax too, but I'm mainly a flower, man. I fuck with that old school, bro.
That old
school joints, bro, all day long. I'm smoking joints all day, bro.
Shit are cool, but it's just too much.
Yeah, definitely, man.
You can only get so high, and then it's just like, damn, I don't know. Me.
Hey guys, we're
getting ready to eat
dinner.
Schmitty.
He disappeared.
I'm getting ready to eat dinner with the family. We're having a big birthday party, as you can see.
Is it for you or what?
And for both of us. My sister-in-law, her birthday is today, and mine was yesterday, so we're combining the two. And I got this big steak. Show them the steak, honey.
Yeah, let's see the steak.
Whoa.
Ooh, that's a big old. Oh, you guys are eating. Big Schmitty about to put it down on a big old steak.
Yeah.
Schmidt dog.
Well, hey, make sure you tap. Hey, make sure you tap in. Tap in when you're done, brother.
I will. I'll be back. We'll talk with you. Have a good one.
All right. We'll see you later,
You too,
man.
man. You too, Smitty.
Order this Schmidt doggy dog. That was a big old steak he's gonna snack back. Huh? Get back in here, Don. It kicked you. I don't know why. If you want to get back in, brother, the link's right there. But hey, what's up with it? Schmitty was about to put it down, huh?
Don, they're eating good.
Hey, does Smitty get all faded too on alcohol, or he just smoked the tree?
Nah, Schmitty be off that Jameson, bro. Constantly. Yeah.
I'm out next time. I got
over there.
I told everyone. I don't know. All right, look, I haven't announced it. I announced it to the did I announce it, or did I announce it only to the members live? Friday, tomorrow, telethon time. Remember I said it? We're doing a telethon. We're fucking gonna go, bro, till the wheels fall off. Once I go live, I ain't getting off until the motherfuckers kick me off. We're gonna bump music. We're gonna do everything. We're gonna try to fucking raise money for fucking Thanksgiving shit for people. It's on and cracking. Yeah. I'll put a community post. I'm gonna drink with you guys till the fucking wheels fall off until I pass out and right down like this. I don't give a fuck. We're gonna do it in that fashion, and that's till the wheels fall off tomorrow.
You get drunk tomorrow?
Hey, it's only gonna be a half hour live. Gunner's gonna.
Yeah, it might only be a half hour. I might fucking fall off. But I'm gonna try to roll with you guys, man, till the wheels fall off, man.
You really gonna drink the 4 beers or one?
You could drink. We'll probably start it tomorrow. I'm gonna coordinate it with a Convicts Perspective so that they can get their time slot, get theirs in, and then we'll go right after that, bro. And we're fucking party all the time, party all the time. We're gonna do it like fucking Rick James and fucking Eddie Murphy.
How much beer are you gonna drink, Gun?
Oh, I don't know, man. I'm gonna buy me a couple 40s and a fucking a botella or something.
What kind of 40s you gonna buy? I'll take the same 40s with you.
I'm probably gonna buy me a 40 of Mickey's and a 40 of and a Corona 32.
All right. I'm gonna do a 40 of Mickey's and Modelo 32, and I'm gonna drink along with you then.
There it
I'll
is. There.
stay with you. I'm cool.
What time? All right. Hey, DM and let me know the time we can go on so I can jump on.
Yeah, I'll let everyone know in the community post tomorrow. And I said, fuck it, we're gonna party like it's 1989. What the fuck?
You know what? I'll do something I don't usually do. I'm gonna do it tomorrow for you. I'm gonna smoke some weed.
That's right.
I'm gonna smoke some weed. I usually don't do it, but I'll do it for you.
You gonna get your smoke on?
I'm gonna get my smoke on. I'm gonna smoke some weed for you. I usually don't, but I'll do it for you.
That's right. It's going down.
You don't smoke weed, man. I don't do that shit, man.
Hey, the homeboy East Bay NorCal said he'll be watching with a Modelo 24 to the head. Everyone's gonna get their little swerve on a 40 of Hurricane High Gravity.
Hey, what number is that? Number 8?
Hey, everyone's gonna be off the 211. I already know 209. He's like, shit. If it's drinking involved, I'm there.
Yeah.
Blue Bull.
Hey, Gunner, remember what you
209.
said?
What is that? Number 8? What is that? Number 8?
Nah, I'm barely killing a sixer tonight, bro.
Just a little
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey,
That's a 6-6er, you mean? You're barely killing your 6-6er?
Nah, just one tonight.
Hey, just a little sixer to the mixer. He ain't doing too much.
Get 3 or 4 of them. If we're gonna do a little live drinking, yeah.
The homeboy Richie says, shit, he's doing this thing. No 10 to 2 peoples. Nah, no 10 to 2, man. You ain't got to do all that. Okay, just smoke a little weed, fucking drink a little alcohol, whatever you like to drink. And
edibles.
Hey,
edibles. Get some cookies.
Hey, remember what you told me to trip out on earlier?
Yeah.
Hey, without saying too much, hey, man, pobrecitos, dude. They're coming.
It's coming, huh? Did you see? Hey, bro, bad, bro. I seen that, bro. Yeah, they're everybody in that area is done.
Hey, Gun.
Yeah.
Can I get my elevated? Can I get my my status elevated and get a wrench?
Yeah. Hey, yeah. I can't give wrenches right here, bro, because fucking I'm on.
Yeah, I know.
But I'll do some on regular YouTube, bro, where I could.
I don't got a wrench. I mean, everybody got a wrench. I don't even got one. Like, can I get my status elevated?
You're like, where's my wrench at, huh?
I'll put in some work over here. I mean, shit. You know what's up, man?
Hey,
Ben, I got you. The homeboy Steve said he's gonna be off some of that OD. We got some Mad Dog 2020 that's about to pop off.
I need a
man.
Hey, that Cisco, remember that Cisco? That liquid crack, that Cisco.
From Don Julio.
Hey, but the Cisco that they make now ain't. I don't even know if they still make it. Ain't the Cisco from back then?
No.
Fuck no, it ain't the Cisco from back then. The Cisco from back then, you were gonna commit a case. You were gonna fucking catch a body that night.
So Wild Irish Rose.
Hey, that was liquid crack, bro. That was a different level of Cisco,
that Wild Irish Rose will put your ass in jail for real.
What are those wrenches anyway? Just the
the wrenches are for people that I give them to the people that trusting people that have been around for a long time, people that I know personally. And what it is, bro, they're able to moderate in here. So if when you have these weirdos that come in here, they can get rid of them.
Okay.
Orale, the homeboy Dreams, he says some of that Night Train. That old school Night Train Dreams.
Night Train.
Night Train.
What about the old green bottles called port or white port?
Yeah. Hey, the homeboy Steve, he says Cisco is basura now. You ain't lying, bro.
We're going
watered down, bro.
You going live until you don't know how long?
Tomorrow.
For how long? You don't got some time.
We're gonna just fucking go homes to the fucking till we pass out. You know what I mean?
Until you pass out.
All over, much love and respect. Gracias. I appreciate
you. Go shot for shot.
209, right? You keep a half hour.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Keep a half hour live.
Just a little half hour live. You know what I mean? Just a little. Hey, after a couple shots.
Don't get beer happen like this. Sit in the chair.
Hey, I'll fucking just do it. I don't give a fuck. You guys would be on there. You'd be like, gone. I'll be like, fuck you, Smitty, and go back to the.
We'll be hey, what is our fucking baby lungs?
Hey, 209. We'll be stuck live because gonna be passed out.
Farmetto be calling beans baby lungs. We're gonna call Gunner Baby liver, nah.
Hey, hey, hey,
Oh,
hey, ESF Rob says Thunderbird. All them fucking Bulldogs be drinking like
Baby
Thunderbird, huh?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember getting some 2020 when I got out. I was
I'm
off
too
the
white for
hook
all
in
that.
Porterville.
It's Mick Altruist in 1800. I must be too white for all that. It's Mick Altruist.
Baby
Oh.
shot.
Oh, bro, I would have liked to drink with the homeboy Dreamer right here, man. Some Mad Dog 2020, man. This would have caught it sticking on somebody or something. Hey, I'm telling you, bro. Hey, shit. Some of the guys that you do time with, bro, that you're thinking, man, if I drank with this dude, it'd be a wrap. We catch 10 cases tonight.
hell yeah.
You see the
Damn.
whole mood changing.
Oh, bro, you could just see, bro. Hey, I like to drink. Let's get the homeboy. I like to drink with people, bro,
Hey.
that could fucking that are just happy drinkers, bro, just happy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't
trying to
like
get
that.
cool
When they
with
get
it.
angry and shit,
I
it's
wanna
like,
be
oh,
laughing.
bro,
You know
we're
what?
gonna.
I wanna be laughing
You know what I think would be a
and
trip to drink with
smiling
is Boxer.
Oh my god, you're gonna go to jail or something, you know?
You go to jail. Hey, give us a little skit drinking with Boxer. How's it gonna be, gun? Give us a little skit.
Yeah, hey, yeah, you definitely going to jail, man. You definitely going to jail.
Let's see a little skit, gun. Drinking with Boxer. Let's say it one time.
Yeah. Let me try to add fucking the homeboy to the fucking thing right
Hey,
here.
Johnny, are you gonna drink with us?
You definitely going to jail.
Damn, bro, I haven't drank for a minute.
What's going on here?
Either have
Mikey!
fun.
Mikey's in the
Barcelona.
building.
What's up, Salinas Report? How you doing, man?
What's
Man,
up, Cuba?
appreciate you guys,
Good.
man. Buenas noches, everybody.
Mikey, how's it
Good.
going, bro?
Saludos.
Saludos, bro.
Yes,
Buenas noches,
indeed.
Gun.
What's
Donnie.
up?
The rest of the
Dreams. Gracias. I appreciate you, Dreamer. You didn't have to, brother. Salutes to everyone. Stay safe out there. Yes, indeedy, man. We appreciate you.
24's in the
What's
Oh,
up,
yeah.
Mikey? Hey, so you got Cholo in the house tonight, huh? He was in here earlier.
That's right, man. I got Cholo Trucker. He's finally coming up north. We've been waiting for him to come up north and cross that Bakersfield mid-state line. We got him now. No turning back.
Yeah, yeah. You're already sipping on the Modelo, getting ready, huh?
I'm warming up, man. Yeah, I was listening to your live. Hey, that Dr. Klecha.
Klecha, super Klecha. Hey,
That's his nickname, Dr. Klecha.
Dr. Klecha. Hey, it's people like that, bro, that I like to, I like to have those conversations. I like to have those conversations because my mind is all fucked up, right? But not only that, at the same time, bro, I think he could bring awareness and a lot of good stuff to the gente.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out Dr. Iran.
Yeah.
Oh, what's 209 smoking on over there?
I don't know. It's a pre-roll from the club. I don't even know, bro. I just
Man.
it's a hybrid. I know that. I don't know.
I smoke
What
indica.
about Mikey?
Indica only.
Indica? Yeah, I remember that he said.
Yeah,
what the
my
name-
favorite
the
is like
name-
wedding
You know,
cake.
Hey, Mikey, when we kick it, we're gonna smoke PCP. Just like- Mikey's like, wait a minute, hold on.
I told you I got a couple clients.
name of it?
I got a couple clients that want me to go out there, Modesto and Merced.
Hey,
And so
I
I'm
told you-
gonna be
hey,
going to this
where-
or next month. I'm gonna be going to Modesto, Merced, and Los Baños, just kind of showing home.
Oh, so you're gonna be right here in the area.
Where they're looking for that in that area, it's cool. So it's a decent area. Houses are kind of expensive though.
Mm-hmm.
I actually hit a Bean. I called Bean. It was a couple weeks ago when I barely got these clients that were avid about going out to that area. And I said, Bean, give me the right zip codes, carnal. I need the suburbs, the house on the hills. You know, I need those area codes.
Yes, indeed.
I ain't trying to put the clients in the hood, you know.
Gracias, Italiano 559.
Mikey.
Appreciate you.
Do you know the name of it? The weed, or is it?
That's
you
right.
just know it's indica.
Oh, no. Yeah. It's Fatso.
Fatso? What about me?
He said, what about me? That's right, man. Not clowning, but Donnie looks like the character on the Lemonhead rapper. Orale, Donnie, Mr. Lemonhead. My boy. That's right, man. Hey, happy Veterans Day to all the people out there, man, that fought in the armed services, and to all the veteranos, ones that had their fucking 10 toes down in the concrete doing their thing, man. Those are real veterans, too. Vets
We're
are people that are
yeah.
still around to talk about it. People that are still around. My boy Dreams right there. He's a veterano, man. Someone who did a lot of hard time as a youngster,
Right.
all the way up through adulthood, man. He's a veteran of the system, bro. Vets, all vets, bro.
Yeah. My grandpa was a veteran.
Yeah.
partner up there lighting that one. Is that a pre-roll or you rolled that?
I rolled it myself.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. They do sell some of those, but they'll be like 60 on up.
Yeah, no, this is one personal one right here.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike. On Halloween, me and Bean smoked this joint. It was like 2.5 grams, bro. It was a fucking it was a
It was a monster.
And nowadays you don't even need that much because it's just
it had all that wax and all that shit in it and all that keef on it. Yeah.
Watch some shit that me you and I gonna be posting up on next week.
Rojo's on another level with that shit.
That's right, man. I did a lot of time in the street shoe program. That's right, Mark.
Bean. Me and Bean, I'm gonna touch him with Bean. We post some stuff up next week on Instagram.
Hell yeah.
Does Bean have an Instagram?
I don't know. I got one. I don't know if he does. I got one.
No, Bean don't got an Instagram, bro.
Okay. Yeah.
Steve Saras says if there's any struggling vets in Vegas, I'm here to help, man. He's a real one. That's Steve right there. He's definitely a real one.
In la casa.
Any struggling vets, man, he's definitely there to help. I'm gonna call you later on, Mikey. If not later on, tomorrow's. I got an idea. We can do something, coordinate something.
That's right.
I'll call you.
That's right.
What we say, burning on scuds. I remember those days. That's right, bro. Yeah, definitely, man. Hey, so trip out, gente. I'm definitely gonna get up out of here. Reason being, I want I'm gonna go ahead and let Convicts Restricted do their thing because at the same time, I know that Mikey's gonna do his thing at what 8:30.
8:30. I'll be with Cholo Truck.
Yeah,
I'll jump on ACP. I'll see you guys on with Flaco and Rojo.
Yeah, that way everyone gets their chance to do their thing, you know. And we'll do it in that fashion, man.
Orale.
I appreciate everyone that tapped in.
Some shit tonight down late night creep again.
Late night creeping. Late night creeping.
They be waiting.
All right, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for everyone that tapped in, man, and checked out the doctor. Is appreciated.
Hit the like button on your way out. Don't forget to hit the bell and then hit the all notifications if you don't want to miss anything.
Every bit of it. I'll see you guys over there on the Convicts.
All right.
Late.